Greetings folks and welcome to another episode of me bitching and moaning. This video is probably going to be covering perhaps the biggest problem that I've ever covered on Rants and Raves. But this is only my third episode, so that's not surprising. So today we're going to be discussing a Minecraft legend named Richlarrousses and his greatest enemy, thefts. So for those of you who are unaware who Richlarrousses is, he has the ability to make any ship from the real life into Minecraft while being scarily accurate. He has made famous ships such as the Titanic, Queen Mary, and the Lusitania. Also, my new ship in my 1000 Days world, aka the SheepGod, is actually just Richlarrousses' Lusitania in a different coat of paint. Now, since I have a functioning moral compass, I actually plan on crediting Richlarrousses for design when the video comes out. But unfortunately, that's more than I can say for many of the douches around here. So let us enter the content theft asylum. So Rich basically makes fully fleshed tutorials for all of these ships and puts them on YouTube for free. I'm pretty sure he has world downloads too. Now in exchange for all this, he asks for one very simple and very reasonable thing, that he is credited for the design. Sadly, not everyone follows through with this. In fact, it's such a problem that to the point where Rich has, at bare minimum, been on the verge of quitting at least once. And honestly, I feel bad for him. In fact, most would. But it seems like this hardcore prick, aka Saltyy, does not. So basically, in his video, Saltyy builds the Titanic in hardcore Minecraft because that is the only acceptable game mode for YouTubers to play on these days. If any other YouTuber is caught making non-hardcore videos, they will be shot on sight. Anyways, before describing how I know this guy stole from Richlarrousses, I want to talk about this war crime of a video. So first off, it is way too overstimulating. Oh my god, slow down! Like, making a massive tree farm should take more than 20 seconds to cover in the video. Now, one more thing I'd like to mention is this guy is probably a minor since he talks about history class and exams and stuff. Normally this is where people would go easy on this guy, but since I'm also part of the Beware of White Vans clan, I feel no obligation to do so. Also, why the hell does every single goddamn Minecraft YouTuber need progress bars? After going into creative mode to grab some items, he lays out the whole of Richlarrousses' Titanic. From this point onwards, this video is just pretty typical building stuff. Oh my god, please die, come on, come on! No. Okay, now it just feels like this guy is somehow going faster than before. Like, entire chunks and sections of the bloody ship are popping out of nowhere. I genuinely feel like I will gain more enjoyment by watching Season 1, Episode 28 of Bluey. Also, this is a new one.
Please subscribe. I want to break the world record for the most amount of withers killed in a hardcore world, and for every subscriber I get, I'm gonna be killing one wither. Just like this one. Oh my god.
Considering how Mogswamp swamped himself with dirt from his subscriber tactic, this claim is either faker than the Kardashians' breast, or this guy's fucking brain dead. Finally, the torture is over. Wow. I can't wait for a tour. Oh. Now, before I prove that this is Richlarrousses' ship, I just wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. Why the texture? Like, Rich did not have this in this tutorial. It makes the ship look nasty, and it gives you more effort in terms of material collecting. But that probably isn't much of a problem to creative users. Maybe I could write this off as weathering for the ship, but this is not only not how weathering works, but the Titanic didn't even have enough time to weather. So why do I believe that Richlarrousses' Titanic is the same as Salty's Titanic? Well, I have two very big pieces of evidence. The first is that if you look at the funnels, they just feel off. This is because the funnels are supposed to be slanted, which they are, but the black top isn't. This is actually something that Rich addresses later on, but this bastard was just too lazy to account for that. So on top of them both making the same mistake with the funnels, the cranes on the ship both look identical. Now sadly, looking at the comments, wait, Wamba, I thought I could trust you! Anyway, sadly, not a lot of people seem to notice the blatant theft taking place, though Saltyy is getting roasted due to his terrible pacing, which is pretty funny. But this is mostly due to the fact that Rich is just a small creator, and Saltyy has built himself an army of fetuses. One more thing I want to say is I am terrified of Saltyy listening to the hordes of suggestions asking him to make an interior, because if he does that, you guys will have to witness me having a mental breakdown about Saltyy stealing Pipkin 06's interior. So I just wanted to point out Richlarrousses' biggest content theft, but sadly there are still many more where he came from. If there's one thing that we can all take away from this is that you should always credit your source. Otherwise, I may have to commit a little third-degree murder